Get ready, start. On Sunday, November 4, the Congress organized a public meeting in New Delhi that some have labeled the first political event in support of economic reform. At the meeting, the Prime Minister, the Congress President, and the party's heir apparent Rahul Gandhi spoke of the need for foreign direct investment FDI in a variety of areas and in particular multi-brand retail. They said this was necessary to create remunerative markets for farmers. By opposing it, the opposition was doing a disservice to the country. FDI in retail is certainly a welcome policy initiative. Nevertheless, it is worth asking if assessments of the Congress offering unstinted political commitment to liberalization is exaggerated. The party and the UPA government are cherry picking those reform decisions that are easy and convenient. They are attempting to talk up the economy, which is a good thing, of course, but are yet to offer evidence of clarity in regard to a broad based embracing of a new economic doctrine. Take an example. At the November 4 meeting, the Congress leadership spoke of how FDI in retail would build cold storage units across the country and safeguard and preserve agricultural produce. Nobody will seriously argue against this. It is sobering to note that, like all good businesses, policy reform itself too follows a backward integration template. What does this mean in the case of FDI in retail? The cold storage will need electricity. Walmart and Carrefour are not in the power generation business. Generating power will require reforms in coal, include genuine restructuring of how coal blocks are awarded, how coal is extracted, and the speed of clearances. Once extracted, coal will need to be efficiently and efficaciously transported to power stations. In turn, this would require rationalization, upgrade, and greater privatization of the freight corridors and logistics of Indian Railways. 45% of the freight cargo of which comprises coal. Building infrastructure for Indian Railways would need more steel and aluminium. The government will have to help those wanting to set up plants that can refine India's iron ore and bauxite reserves. All this will create skilled and semi skilled jobs and call for a greater private sector role in the controlled shortage economy in which Indian education operates. In sum, reform is a connected matrix, not a one off episode limited to a specific business sector. There is no point inviting FDI in retail without creating the conditions for it to flourish and to optimize India's potential. There is no point encouraging a car making industry without rapidly building roads and highway networks. There is no point distorting the demand for petrol vehicles with unrealistic diesel pricing and then complaining about urban pollution and Delhi's smog with its health and economic implications. When the whole body needs grooming, it is not enough to clip a toenail. The statements and seeming urgency the UPA government is displaying in terms of economic policy should not be discounted. Even so, it questionable as to how much of this represents course correction, and how much is expedient.